Coming up next on This Week in Torrance.
New city leaders are elected. Find out what changes are in store for Torrance.
And we'll take you inside to some of the celebrations that took place on election night.
Then members of the Torrance Police and Fire Department receive one of the highest honors.
Plus, Special Olympics athletes make their way through Torrance. We'll tell you where they're headed next.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. Election night has come and gone, and now the city will look to new leadership in just a few weeks. Winning 40% of the votes, Pat Fury led the race, winning the election Tuesday as Torrance's next mayor. Tom Brewer came in second with 35%, and Bill Sutherland with not 23% of the votes. Fury, the only Democrat on the ballot, is a recently retired senior deputy county council. He will replace termed-out Mayor Frank Scotto on the 7-member city council. The city will likely appoint a successor to serve out the 2 years remaining on his council term.
The much-heated and talked-about mayoral race ended with less than 1,000 votes differentiating the first and second place winners. It was not only an emotional night for all the candidates, but a night of excitement and relief, especially for one council member and soon-to-be mayor. Hosting a celebration at Industry Sports Bar, Mayor-elect Pat Fury was among family, friends, colleagues, and campaign supporters who were all there rallying for his win. Hoping the early results were an indication of how the night would end, Fury, the only Democrat on the ballot, was cautiously optimistic and relieved that election night was finally here. He stopped to talk with us and expressed how thankful he was for all the support he received this past year.
I just want to thank everybody who's been involved in the campaign this year. It has really been a long journey, but I can't tell them how happy I am for all the work that they did. It took an awful lot of work by an awful lot of people. I have to give kudos to my son who ran my campaign for me. He made some outstanding mailers that we sent out and put together a contact list that we contacted the voters. So we did everything we should do. It was a nice, clean campaign, and I'm very proud of what we put out there.
The city clerk also hosted a reception on election night, inviting all the candidates to come and meet and greet with the community and watch the first ballots posted on the county's website. Lots of smiles and hugs were shared inside City Hall as many came to see the first of the absentee ballot returns. Many waited eagerly inside the council chambers, including outgoing Mayor Frank Scotto, who shared with us his thoughts about the night.
I personally believe the city will be in good hands no matter who gets elected as mayor, and I think that it's going to be good for the city, and I think they'll have their own handprint on what's going on in the city, and so it'll be a good transition, and I don't plan to go anywhere, so I'll be watching what's going on.
Well, with 16 candidates on the ballot for one of the most significant elections in decades, the 2 incumbents running to hold on to their seats will be coming back to work for another 4 years. Councilwoman Heidi Ashcraft was the top vote getter with 13% of the votes. Tim Goodrich came in second with 12%. Current Councilman Kurt Wiederman came in third with 11%, and Jeff Rizzo in fourth place with 9% of the votes. Now, with Councilman Fury's recent win, that also opens up one more position, which will likely get appointed. In fifth place was Leilani Kimmel D'Agostino, who won 8% of the votes. Now, whether she gets the appointment, we'll find out in an upcoming council meeting. Trailing behind were Alex C. and Milton Herring with 7%, Mike Griffiths with 6%, Aurelio Matucci with 5%, Charlotte Svolos and Clint Paulson with 4%, Ramat Khan with 3%, John Paul Tabakian with 2%, and Ryan Mann, Norm Siegel, and Omar Navarro to round out the bottom 3.
Along with the mayor and council race, 3 candidates were vying to take over for retiring city clerk Sue Herbers. Winning by a landslide, current deputy city clerk Rebecca Poirier won with 66% of the votes, followed by city clerk's office secretary Gina Samana with 17% and former city employee Jay Scharfman with 15% of the votes.
Now, with just a few weeks before relinquishing her duties as city clerk, Sue Herbers sat down with reporter Jacqueline Sarkeesian to give us some insight into the importance of the city clerk's job within the city.
Hello.
Sue Herbers wears many different hats as the city clerk.
So I am basically the keeper of the city's records, the administrative records. So we handle all of the resolutions and ordinances and minutes.
She is also the records manager and keeper of the seal for the entire city.
I also handle contracts, and we put the seal of the city over signatures so that to state that they are true and correct documents of the city.
She says her job can be very hectic at times, but with the help of her staff, she gets it done.
I'm a caretaker, and I have been a caretaker. I'm a citizen of Torrance, and I want to give the people the same service that I would expect if I was on the other side of the counter.
Sue Herbers has been the city clerk for 20 years, and one of her most proud accomplishments is receiving this award from the City Clerks Association of California after starting TorranceVotes.org.
The award of distinction for voter outreach was given to Sue for her efforts in engaging civic involvement through Torrance Votes. Mayor Scotto nominated Sue, and this prestigious honor is one of the highest awards offered by the association.
The website is to inform people of their opportunities to meet the candidates.
Sue describes the website as being a one-stop shop for Torrance residents and hopes it encourages them to vote.
I'm hoping that voters feel that they're a little better informed about who the candidates are and what they're actually offering.
Sue is retiring in July and has some advice for the next city clerk.
Just to stay current on everything that happens.
Reporting for Torrance City Cable, I'm Jacqueline Sarkeesian.
Thanks, Jacqueline. For one candidate on the ballot, election results weren't as important this year. Anne-Marie Williams tells us why.
You may recognize the name Dana Cortez from today's ballot, but do you know what the city treasurer does? I was able to sit down with her in her office earlier today and talk to her about the fact that she's running unopposed.
Dana Cortez has been working for the city of Torrance for the past 14 years.
I was the deputy city treasurer for 10 years and then was elected city treasurer in 2010. So I've been the elected city treasurer for the past 4 years.
Cortez has enjoyed her time in this position and is looking forward to continuing her service. The city treasurer is in charge of all revenue that comes into the city.
From there, my additional responsibility is to make sure that any surplus funds are invested so that while they're not being used, they're still earning additional revenues for the residents of the city of Torrance.
Cortez can rest easier during today's election since she is running unopposed.
I do feel relieved. You know, obviously without having to, you know, have all the concerns that come with having an opposer, you know, in an election. But at the same time, every time an election comes about, I see it as an opportunity to, you know, interact with the public.
Cortez enjoys engaging with Torrance residents, but was not always as outgoing.
When I first decided to run for city treasurer, my children were really kind of dumbfounded because they went, "Mom, really? You're going to do this? You're so kind of shy and you really, you know, are not outgoing, if you will." But I wanted to show my children that you can do anything that you put your mind to.
During this past term, Cortez has helped Torrance perform well economically despite harsh times.
I think that we were only outperformed by the city of Santa Monica. So I'm very proud of that accomplishment, that even though economic times have been challenging, we've still been able to do well under these circumstances.
I'm Anne-Marie Williams for Torrance City Cable.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. Dana Cortez received 10,738 votes.
Well, 4 years ago, reports found less than 30% of Torrance residents actually voted in the municipal election. Now this year, with so many positions on the ballot, we were curious to see who all went out to vote and why. Reporter Rhiannon Trutanich was out on the streets on Election Day to find out more.
Veteran voters and first-timers were at the polls today in Torrance. Both believe it is important to get out there and vote.
We're just so fortunate to be able to live in this country and be able to have a say in how we're governed.
I became a citizen last year, and I think it's my duty to come and, you know, make this kind of decisions, which are important for all of us.
The polls at Arnold Elementary School had over 60 voters by mid-afternoon, and Seaside Elementary had around 75 voters when we stopped by.
It's good that people are trying and they're coming to vote and they're showing their interest.
Both polling locations also had many dropping off their absentee ballots.
There's been a fair number, maybe up to 20 or 25 at our table alone. Some of them even with stamps on the envelopes.
Arnold Elementary School is one of 82 polling places open today in Torrance. So finding a place to vote isn't a problem. It's getting people to the polls that can be an issue.
How we're attracting voters, we put a sign, the curbside voting, and then all of our the street signs that we put. I think that's a great way to attracting voters.
One volunteer was surprised at how many people showed up to vote.
The turnout's been much better than I anticipated and much more steady than I anticipated, so we haven't had much downtime.
One voter explained why he thinks people should go out and vote.
Democracy only works when you vote, so you have to vote.
For CitiCABLE, I'm Rhiannon Trutanich.
Thanks, Rhiannon. This year, voter turnout was actually lower than 4 years ago. Among the roughly 83,000 registered voters, just under 20% voted. Well, still ahead, hundreds line up for free pizza. We'll tell you where.
That sounds like a good deal, Jen. Plus, the Special Olympics torch makes its way through Torrance Boulevard. We'll tell you where it's headed.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Torrance Police and Fire received a big honor recently, as many from each department were given one of the highest awards.
The award is made to individuals who distinguish themselves by conspicuous bravery, by heroism, and for other outstanding meritorious actions that involve extreme personal risk.
The 40th Annual South Bay Medal of Valor Awards luncheon took place at the Torrance Marriott this year, honoring 28 men and women in uniform throughout the South Bay who've gone above and beyond the call of duty. In Torrance alone, 15 honorees were recognized. Firefighters Russell Polstra, Christopher Huerta, and Jeffrey Williams received the Medal of Valor Award, along with the Torrance police officer, Ian Mayer. This is considered the region's highest honor for bravery. 3 more members of the fire department were given the Distinguished Service Award, along with 8 Torrance police officers. The Distinguished Service Award is given to those who have gone above and beyond the call of duty. The Medal of Valor Committee consists of the joint South Bay Area Chambers of Commerce, including Torrance, El Segundo, Inglewood, Hawthorne, Hermosa, Manhattan, and Redondo Beach.
El Camino College journalism students are giving themselves a big pat on the back. This year, 14 awards were received at this year's Journalism Association of Community Colleges annual convention that took place in Burbank. ECC students attended the 59th annual journalism convention, where they spent 4 days competing in on-the-spot contests, attending a variety of workshops, and networking with peers and professionals. The event attracted more than 50 community colleges, nearly 500 journalism students, and dozens of industry professionals. Congratulations to all the winners. To learn more about El Camino's journalism program, go to elcamino.edu.
A local 8th grader got one step closer to the National Spelling Bee title recently. Timothy Lau traveled to Washington, D.C. to compete in the Scripps National Spelling Bee contest and was eliminated in the semifinal rounds. The 14-year-old Cali Mayor student was just a few rounds shy of the championship final. The contest started with 281 spellers, and Lau was one of the 46 kids to advance to the national semifinals. A huge accomplishment for this 8th grader. He finished out tying for 13th place in the nation's most prestigious spelling contest. Both the semifinals and finals were televised live on ESPN. This year, the top prize went to 2 spellers, one from New York and the other from Fort Worth, Texas.
DeLumbo Fashion Center is stirring up a whole lot of fun for kids with their recent Kid Gets Club event. Letting kids explore with food, the annual Little Chefs event featured food demonstrations to etiquette lessons to craft making activities. There were also giveaways, games, and free food samples. The Simons Kid Gets Club focuses on health, wellness, education, safety, and entertainment for children ages 3 to 8.
If the idea of free food with no strings attached sounds too good to be true, then you haven't been to Blaze Pizza yet. The newly opened restaurant at Del Amo Fashion Center offered exactly that, a free personalized size pizza to help promote the opening of their newest store right here in Torrance. Customers waited in line for their signature Blaze custom-built 11-inch individual pizzas. This location inside Del Amo's Patio Cafe food court marks the opening of their 18th store nationwide. Blaze Pizza uses an interactive ordering format that allows guests to create their own custom artisanal pizzas at lightning-fast speed. Each for under $8 are designed to cook up in less than 180 seconds. For more information, visit blazepizza.com or visit them on Facebook. And that sounds pretty good.
It's making me hungry, isn't it?
Still ahead, we've got events coming up you won't want to miss. Plus, we'll tell you where this Special Olympic athlete is headed next.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back on Wednesday, June 11th from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. City employees are encouraged to head over to the Ken Miller Recreational Center for the American Red Cross Blood Drive. Donors will receive 2 free tickets to the LA Galaxy game, 2 free tickets to the Laugh Factory, as well as a coupon for a free taco at Wahoo's. The process is quick and easy. You can schedule an appointment online at redcrossblood.org and enter the sponsor code City of Torrance or call the city's Human Resources Department at 310-618-2960. And there's a new comedy show in town, and it's taking place on Sunday, June 29th at the Doubletree Hotel in Torrance. From noon till 3, be ready to laugh your socks off as several comedians are headlining the show, including Larry Omaha, Cindy Burns, and Dave Goodman. Tickets cost $50 to attend. Lunch is included. For tickets, call 714-914-2565 or go to seniorcomedyafternoons.com. Now, let's go out to the sports desk with Juan Hernandez for a sneak preview of what's to come.
Juan, what do you have for us?
Hi, welcome to the Sports Desk studio. Maybe you've heard, well, you've probably heard, the South Bay is having one heck of a run in the CIF postseason. And the folks here in Torrance aren't staying out of the party. 2 Torrance squads on a collision course for a possible CIF matchup. And this week, we get to see what's making one of them so darn hot. That's 4 p.m., 6:30, and 9:30 every evening on CitiCABLE.
Thanks, Juan. Through the power of sports, the Special Olympics works to bring people together to support the special needs community. Here's Crystal Garcia with more.
Torches run is really awesome.
Athletes help members of the Torrance Police Department carry the Olympic torch through the community to help celebrate the arrival of the SoCal Summer Games. After picking up the Flame of Hope torch from Palos Verdes PD, officers and athletes carried it through Torrance neighborhoods before handing it off to Redondo Beach PD. Lieutenant Steve Danjo told me what this 20-year tradition means to the officers.
Their energy, their enthusiasm, it helps recharge us, and we get back far more from the athletes than we can ever give them. It's a great partnership.
Torrance PD joins hundreds of law enforcement agencies, helping raise awareness and funds for the Special Olympics through this law enforcement torch run. The torch carried through Torrance is just one of the 2 making its rounds through SoCal communities. The 2 torches will meet at USC and represent the kickoff of the Summer Invitationals.
The Special Olympics has meant so much to Maggie in her lifetime. She's been in Special Olympics since she was 8 years old, and now she's 21. She's built a lot of good friendships, teamwork. It's just been wonderful.
Athletes travel from all around the world to compete in different sporting events like aquatics, track and field, to golf. 43 of them are from here in Torrance.
I feel great.
You excited?
Yeah, I'm pumped.
I feel excited and pumped.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like half speechless right now.
Athletes like Kate and Maggie train year-round to prepare for the Special Olympic events, all with the help and support of their parents and coaches.
Kate will be participating in track. She'll be running the 50 and the 100, the relay, and the shot put.
The Summer Games begin on June 6th and will be a preview to next year's World Games. In both events, athletes will get their time to shine. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Crystal Garcia.
Thanks, Crystal. Two of the athletes featured in that story will be competing in the Special Olympics National Games in New Jersey later this month. Good luck to all the athletes.
Well, that's it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.